I'm going to try this again. It's Wednesday, December the 14th. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I am just getting back from the VA hospital down there. I was encouraged to go down there to talk with these people, and I was supposed to go down there yesterday. But I couldn't make it down there. I went down there today at 8 o'clock this morning. They said it'd be down there at 8. So I went down there. There was a bad wreck on the freeway. And so to get from here to there through the valet at the VA, just about 3 hours to get down there. Told him that I can't ride that long. So by the time I got down there, 9:30 was my back and my neck were just cramping and spasming so bad I couldn't hardly stand it. I started calling down there about 7:30. Try to tell them, that I was coming, but there was this wreck, and I got rolled over to a phone that rang for about 15 minutes before I hung up. I called back. I got transferred to the wrong clinic twice. So they don't know what they're doing down there. I called them and specifically told them that I was calling to speak to somebody that was in the pain clinic at clinic number 4. So they transferred me to the 5th floor to the pain clinic twice. So all they hear is pain clinic. They know there's a pain clinic on the 5th floor, and they transfer you there because they're stupid, incompetent idiots down there. So I get down there, and it's all I can do to just roll out of my car onto the ground, lay down on my back, flat on my back with my knees bent to try to get these spasms to let go. I mean, the pain is a whole separate deal. My back was, my neck were hurting, but when those muscles are cramping up and spasming, that's, a cramping muscle pretty much, overrides everything. Some of those muscles, they cramp up, and you can't get them to let go if they're under your rib cage right here, behind your shoulder blade or something. It's real hard to get them out. This one cramps up really bad. This muscle under my chin right here. If I yawn sometimes, it'll cramp real bad. So I'm laying on the floor there and in the valet parking lane, and they sent some people out there, and the lady shows up and she's just treating me like shit. Lay your leg flat. So I told her I can't lay that leg flat right now. That muscle's cramping up. I gotta keep that leg bent, take the pressure off of my lower back, and keep that muscle from cramping up. And she's hollering at me like it's just a matter of me just putting my leg down and not listening to me. I'm telling her I can't do it. It's cramping up. My leg is cramping. My back is cramping. I can't lay it down flat. I gotta keep that leg bent. I roll over kind of on one side to get it off that, my hip bone right there. As I got that steel bracket in my left lower left of my back. So anyway, they get me on some kind of a bed and rolling me in there. And the doctor is arguing with this lady, telling her, that she's supposed to respond to this call for some code. It's a code. It was a code. And she's saying, no, it was some other thing. And that's why it took her so long to get there. Another guy saying, no, it's a code. I heard him call code. You're supposed to show up with this equipment and this way. And they're arguing back. Well, 4 or 5 people were talking about this lady, failing to do her job. But, like usually, something like that would never get reported, would never get escalated. And, that's just business as usual at the VA. It seems like to me the government is willing to sacrifice veterans so that they have these jobs down there. They got too many employees. They're inefficient and they're incompetent, or just don't care. But I mean, I can kind of understand it, because I'm white and it's like, probably 90% African American down there, and it's no secret there's not a great rapport between the African American community and white people right now, and in an environment where there's no diversity, that kind of breeds this discrimination, and it may be kind of hard to prove that, but through their ignoring you and not helping you, not volunteering information. There's, many ways that they can do that, and in many instances feel justified in acting that way because of what happened in the past, which I have nothing to do with. 2 wrongs don't make a right. So I in the ER, I'm calling them over there to tell them that I'm there for this appointment, and they're calling me, looking for me, and told them, I'm in the ER. They take my vital signs and then basically put me, in a wheelchair to send me over there to the clinic, which was what I was there for, to see this guy. And I told them when they put me in that wheelchair, that y'all can roll me over there on this wheelchair, but I'm not going to be able to sit up over there. I've been sitting on my back for 3 hours already, and I can't sit up any longer. I got to lay down. And regardless of me telling them that, they pushed me over there. And the people at the clinic, as soon as I got there, they're saying, well, this is a Conroe patient. He goes to the Conroe clinic. He's not supposed to be here. Why is he here? And I'm telling them that I'm there to see that doctor there, and I need to lay down. And they're saying, well, we're going to get you something to lay down on. I'm trying to find out where you're supposed to go. And I told them, who I was there to see, and sat out there still another 7 to 8 minutes, and I told him I can't sit here like this, and so they say that the doctor that you're supposed to see today can't see you in this condition, and so they leave me in the wheelchair and push me back to the ER. And are arguing with the people at the ERs. Nobody seems to want to take responsibility for do their job. And I laid there on that bed for another probably 30 minutes before I saw anybody. When they came in there and told me, they'd give me a shot of Toradol, and I told them that it doesn't work on me, but I didn't want to refuse anything because they'll make a big deal out of that. And the guy says, we can give you this Toradol and change your muscle relaxer. Oh God, to something different. And you need to go down there and pick it up from the pharmacy. I told him then, that I cannot go down there and sit in that pharmacy. I can't sit up. Been on my back already, too much. And asked for, the only thing that I asked for down there was a heating pad, and they don't have that. I just laid back there in that bed till almost 2 o'clock. 9:30 to almost 2 o'clock. And I eventually told him, that, I needed to leave. I couldn't wait there any longer, else I was going to be, stuck in traffic for, hour and a half, 2 hours coming home. And be, basically put myself, right back in the same position I was in right then. I told them to just mail me that medication to my house, and and push me out there to the valet where I can get back in my car and come home. And it's getting so bad. I got lost coming home. I missed turning off on 2 major freeways, major intersections. I'm so confused right now, and I was reading some stuff, oddly enough, about Pizzagate and cannibalism and this Crutchfield-Jacobs disease. And so as I read through the symptoms of this Crutchfield-Jacobs disease, kind of made me stop to think, and maybe that might be what I'm exhibiting, some of those symptoms. I had a major shift in my vision. My mental capacity has become greatly reduced. I can't focus or concentrate. My memory is getting real poor. And I've got these uncontrollable spasms and cramps all over my body. They're everywhere. And seems like there was a couple of more things on there. And the deal about that, it's a rare condition, but I was refused, turned away from the blood center, went to donate blood, and they turned me away and said I couldn't donate blood anymore because I was stationed in Germany during this time period where they were bringing this tainted meat and feeding it to us in the Air Force in Germany. So, there's a high probability that I was exposed to meat tainted with mad cow disease. And they say that thing can lie dormant for many years before it comes to the surface. So, I don't know, but needless to say, I left down there today and come home, and I've gotten down here on these heating pads, and called my buddy and told him, to come get whatever stuff that's over here that he wants. He's sent a lot of stuff over here, so he got me a PlayStation for Christmas, but I've not even opened it. I already in my mind didn't think that I was going to be around to use it much. And like I told that guy up there at Senator Cornyn's office, that it may be new to him, but I've already been through this, several times down there at the VA. That's why I'm in the condition that I'm in, is because they've ignored me and made assumptions and wrongly classified some of my issues. Oh boy, you can't get on me like that. I know you like to be there. This is the sick boy. He's got something wrong with his mouth. Oh, I'm trying to get him healed. I got some antibiotics for him. My head is just pounding. So, I'm supposed to see this guy down there today before I go see this doctor tomorrow, and I don't even know now that I need to go see this doctor tomorrow because there's no data or whatever from this other guy, which, even if I had saw him today, I seriously doubt, that anything would come from that, other than they seem to think that all you need to deal with chronic pain is to take some classes down there, cognitive behavioral therapy, which first thing they talk about is, changing behavior, and that's the one thing the VA doesn't seem to be able to do, is they just do the same thing over and over again. They and it's like 2 or 3 months between each step. Every time they do something, they'll just do one thing at a time, and it takes a long time between things. That the guy I was supposed to see down there today lost my paperwork, but somehow still was able to make his assessment. That was back in 2015. They sent me to some pool therapy, and all I could manage to do was get up there into this hot tub, which I'm saying hot tub, it wasn't very hot. And as a matter of fact, the last couple of times I went, it's been almost just lukewarm or room temperature. Even this filthy, dirty water in there, it hurts me so bad to get it. It's almost in Conroe. It's like 25 miles to that place, but I did it already for 6 weeks or whatever, and very, very little help, and nothing lasting, and following that, there was no follow-up. There's no second phase or step 2 or whatever. It's just back to square one again. Now I'm back doing the same thing. They want to do the assessment again and do the same course of action for the 3rd or 4th time now. I can't remember, but I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of hurting. I'm so tired of living like this. The one guy saying that the home health care people stop coming because the VA has to do an assessment, and I'm telling him that the VA is the home health care people said that they stopped sending their people over here because they couldn't staff it. The people, I guess, not willing to come here and work for some old nasty white man, that requires, I require a lot. They got to help me get in and out of the tub without soaking that hot water. But I can't get out, and I can't really hardly bathe myself without these cramps just cramping up all over. So, I kind of need a little help with bathing and washing my hair and getting in and out of the tub, and that's usually when I can brush my teeth, and then they're supposed to do all this other stuff, laundry and light housekeeping and meal prep and errands, and they only get 2 hours a week to do that. So really can't do hardly anything. The 2 hours that they get are used up just here doing light housekeeping. 2 hours a week is enough to do that, though, but it just doesn't seem to work out. The people don't show up. I've got an appointment, they don't show up one day. The next thing you know, it's been a week and a half, and nobody been over here, and it gets worse and worse. And it's just no way to live, and that was kind of the deal with what they're saying, that this evaluation or reassessment needs to be made. And I'm saying, well, no, they're telling me that they stopped showing up because they couldn't staff it. And you're saying that the VA is saying that they're not showing up because this assessment hadn't been done. Well, I would think that, the assessment will be done before your care lapsed, that they let your care run out before they do these things. Now, it's been probably a month, and the new people, they're going to want to do an assessment too, and then they got to find somebody. It'd be another 2 or 3 weeks, probably before that happened. And honestly, I don't even expect that to happen. I didn't do anything for Thanksgiving because they ran me all over down there. I mean, we do MRIs and see these people, neurology, and I've already told them that they told me in the hospital that they're not going to operate on my neck, and they're not going to do these injections, and they made me do all that stuff, and so I missed going out for Thanksgiving, because I had been down there to the VA two times in a row, and I told them then that I couldn't hardly do that. I already missed one MRI appointment because I couldn't make it. And so now it's December. Nothing has changed. Told the doctor when I came out of the hospital down there, that this 5 milligrams of hydrocodone 3 times a day was not effective. That at a bare minimum, I needed like 30. A 10 milligram hydrocodone 3 times a day, just so that I can not be laying here suffering, that I can get some rest and take care of the little things around here that I need to do to maintain these sweet little animals that I have. It's the only companionship that I have, and many times it's been the only thing that's really kind of kept me hanging on, is that I don't want to abandon these poor animals. But at the point where I can't take care of them, 2 of them are really old already, and geriatric, if you will. And this guy here has got some problems with his mouth. I found him starving to death, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make it over that. So I just lay here day after day after day like this. I tell that doctor that medicine's not working, and the first thing that he does is he takes me off that medicine and puts me on Tylenol 3. It says if that doesn't work, come back. And I come back and I tell him it's not working, and then he's mad. He's angry, and reluctantly, he puts me back on the same 5 milligram hydrocodone that I'd been on already for over a year at Harris County. I mean, they did the same thing at first. They put me on Tylenol 3 for a month or so before, they bumped it up, and then said, they couldn't go any higher than that I needed to go to see a pain management clinic. That's something that the Harris County doesn't offer indigent pain management for indigent people anymore. So, and then that's kind of what put me in the hospital the last time, because I didn't, I just kind of gave up. And they put me up with this new doctor. You need to communicate with these doctors. I've been communicating with them. I told them that medicine wasn't working. They don't do anything different. I'm on the same medicine that I've been on already that I told them it's not working. The only thing different now is they're making me, 6, 7, 8 appointments a month, requiring me to commute down there to that sorry excuse for a hospital in downtown, or up to Conroe, which is significantly easier to get in and out of, but nevertheless it's still hard for me to get up and get dressed and get my wheelchair loaded up, or my walker in my trunk, and then I go up there and I got to get all that stuff out and then get inside and then wait in the chair up there, sit sitting is just sort of something I can't really do. And then I gotta get that stuff back in my car and drive back home and unload it. It's just, 7 times a month or whatever. They're just running me into the ground like that's what they're trying to do. They're making my everything has just gotten worse and more frustrating, and on top of that, the home health care people stopped coming. The people that are supposed to be over this HUD-VASH program, this ACT team, and assertive, whatever, for suicidal veterans, supposed to be heightened sense of awareness, contact with you, whatever, whether they want to come here or not, they call you on the phone. Guys talked to them was before Thanksgiving. He's supposed to be helping me get an Obama phone. Never heard back from him. Don't expect to. And that's every aspect of my care down there is messed up. And so, I'm back home here. Nothing has changed. Other than the fact that, like I said, I'm just pretty much giving up, and called my buddy, told him to come get his stuff out of here. Oh, God. I'm cramping right now, right there. Just from that little bit of shift, if I try to pull myself down with my feet, I get terrible cramps in the back of my thighs trying to do that. And all the VAs that say is no stenosis, that's all they keep saying. and it goes no further than that. And so, I read about some Green Beret that was sick and mistreated. Here, let me take this call. It's 30 minutes. I'll post some more to it.